two. He's hard to find at times, but my God, he's part of the family. Orion Stewart, former Baylor defensive back, Midway defensive back on Sic'Em 365 Radio. Young man, it's great to have you on the show. I know you're about to work out. We don't want to keep you from that. What does this mean? You have been around. You have had your opportunities, and sometimes they haven't worked out. So what does it mean to have another chance to knock on the door?
I mean, it's just another opportunity, you know what I'm saying, that I was blessed to have. So you got to make the most of the opportunities. They don't always last, you know what I'm saying? They don't always come around. So make the most of it.
You're going to Michigan. You're going to play for Jeff Fisher, who coached in the Super Bowl and came about as close to winning one without as anybody with Kevin Dyson. So what do you know about the Michigan Panthers so far, and what you're going to be doing?
Honestly, I'm trying to find out everything myself. I don't know too much, but I will be finding out very, very, very soon.
Orion, just how much has obviously you're back to playing football, are going to be back to playing football, but just how much has the last few years kind of being in and out of the game, how much did you realize that you love the game, and how hard has that been to not be able to just kind of plant your roots somewhere and just play the game that you love?
That's been very difficult, you know what I'm saying? Just having having the mental toughness to get up every day and make sure that you're still ready when you never know when that call comes. You know, that call is going to come, and if it ever is going to come. So that's why I say, thankful I'm blessed for another opportunity and just got to take advantage and make the most of it.
Kids grow up, whether they want to play pro sports, they want to get, be a star, whether it's in entertainment business, athletics, or whatever. And you were really good. Fantastic player at Baylor. Incredible player at Midway as well. So you have a chance to live the dream of the NFL. But then you have to go back and forth to different teams, and you're there for a day or a week or whatever. Can you try to explain how hard that was?
Man, I don't even know how to necessarily put it into words. Like I say, you just kind of sometimes you gotta roll with the punches and put one foot in front of the next every day and just keep going.
Orion Stewart, now a part of the USFL's Michigan Panthers, with us on Sic'Em 365 Radio.
Orion, you're going to be joined by Jamison Houston there with the Panthers. Have you had an opportunity to talk to him or reach out either way to have the idea that there's going to be a couple Baylor players playing together again?
Yeah, he called me. He called me the same day that I got drafted, and I got to chop it up with him for a little bit. So that'll be a comfortable situation, being around somebody that especially in the secondary. So I'll be looking forward to playing with him.
And Zach Smith too, right?
Yeah.
In Michigan.
No, he's going to He's going to New Orleans.
Sorry, yeah. So,
yeah, he reached out to me too, saying he was ready to light me up like he used to do at Baylor.
Is that true, Orion, that he used to light you up?
I think y'all was around quite a bit. I don't know. Y'all tell me.
It's classic Orion right there.
Yes.
That's what I love.
We have asked different players, depending on what era they've been at Baylor. Of course, the last 10 or 12 years, from Coach Bryles to Jim Grope for the 1 year, to then Matt Rule.
Shout out to Coach Bryles.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Bryles, too. Let me say that, too, since you said that.
I was going to ask you about your former head coach and the opportunity to get back into college coaching at Grambling State.
I'm very, very excited for him about that. I actually haven't talked to him in a while. I do plan on reaching out and telling him congratulations. But, I know, they crucified. He's very, very crucified. But I just, that's a man that gave me an opportunity that a lot of people in his lifetime haven't. So it's kind of hard for me to have a lot of feelings towards him.
So what have you noticed as someone, and how often have you kept up with Baylor since you were gone and watched their development and turn into a hellacious defensive team?
Man, Baylor has even my senior year when we kind of started going downhill a little bit, man, to see what they're doing now, man, to be the Big 12 championship, all these players getting invited to the Senior Bowl and to the Combine. Man, that's what Baylor is. That's what Baylor is back to being what we are known to be. Well, I guess we wasn't necessarily known to be that for all my life, but
you helped start to make it that way, though.
You guys, you know what? When Phil Bennett arrived, I think Coach Browse probably whispered, "Hey, just get us a stop once a half," and then it became where you won games playing that defense and goal line stands and all of that. At least you kind of set the tone.
A lot of people say that we didn't have that good of a defense, but if you go to look at different stats, it would say otherwise. I think we created a lot of turnovers and stuff as well.
I would think points per possession, you guys were really high, especially given that most of your games, you've got your offense and then another offense that's similar to yours.
Running 90 plays.
Running 90 plays.
Yeah.
So, you guys, people look at it through a certain lens, Orion, but sometimes they're looking at it through teams that ran the ball 50 times a game. And that
we played this game. We played over 100 plays just on defense.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And Phil Bennett didn't like to substitute, did he?
I don't know how many red breaks I got.
You made some plays in your career at Baylor, but I want to bring up one, and I wonder if you still think this might have been as big a play as you made. And I know at Baylor it's a bigger deal, but do you remember, was it Denton Ryan? Was that the game where you picked off a pass and ran it back for a touchdown in that game against Denton Ryan? Was that who it was against?
Correct. My senior year of high school, third round.
About a 25 about 25, 30-yard interception return for a touchdown against a team that was obviously, Midway was great with Terry Gamble, but I always remember that play. When I think about you, with all due respect to anything else you've done, that's always, for some reason, the first play that comes to mind for me.
Why is that play so iconic for you?
I don't know. It's because it was one for you. It's kind of like, not that you weren't already a guy that everyone knew, but it was such a big play that you made, and I was probably, because I know that things haven't always been easy for you, that I was proud of you making that play at that moment and kind of all of a sudden saying, hey, here I am.
Yeah, I think that it was one of the moments that kind of started turning a few more heads for me for the colleges anyway.
Phil Bennett once said about you, and I know you got to get the workout. We're killing you on your workout. He said that a lot of people were kind of overlooking you, but he wanted you, didn't he? He wanted you to come play safety for Bay. There was something about you, and I know you guys probably had butted heads so many times, but he wanted you to come play for Baylor, and a lot of people were overlooking you.
Yep, that's right. I don't know what it was. Why people overlook me, I guess. I played a lot of basketball in high school too. I thought I was a basketball player, so maybe that was the reason. But things always end up working out.
Well, go work out. Yep, go work out, man. Anything else, Greg, for Orion?
No, Orion, just happy for you, man. Happy that you're getting the opportunity, and wishing you nothing but health and a lot of success in the new USFL.
Oh yeah, I sure appreciate it, man.
Orion Stewart, good to have him on. Another young man that has a chance to get his college football career back into the NFL. You've been a part. I want to tell you this timeline. I know we got to go, Paul. Here's a timeline.
Which means that we are not going to go.
No, I know, and I'm going to lose the bet that Jack put on before the show. This is not a way. I want you to think about this. You want to be a part of the NFL. Orion Stewart in 2017, signed by Denver in May, cut in September. Picked up by Buffalo 3 days later, cut a month later. Picked up by Washington 5 weeks later, cut 3 weeks later. Picked up by Washington again a week later, cut 2 weeks later at the end of the season. Picked up by Washington in the offseason in April, cut 3 days later. Picked up by the Giants 2 weeks later, waived by them right before the start of the 2018 season. Picked up by Tampa Bay in the offseason in April, waived at the end of training camp. Now, Orion Stewart's a tremendous talent, but he also, and if we had more time, and he had to grow up. He had some things where he had to kind of become accountable. But he's just one of those guys you're just glad he's been able to kind of get through what was tough when he was younger. And I'll say this, and Paul, you mentioned this before, one person who had a tremendous influence that he was scared of, not only was it Phil Bennett, the respect he had for Coach Browse, was Kim Mulkey.
Oh, yeah.
Former Baylor women's basketball coach that she would kind of like one of those where she'd grab him by the ear and, you know.
Yeah, he and Kramer are really good
buddies.
friends. And
her son Kramer, the baseball player.
So, it was, I remember talking to Coach Kim one time and saying, like, hey, tell me about Orion. And she's like, if he just get his head out of his ass.
Yeah, I know.
And that was just him being youthful and immature, but he like
and a little
rambunctious. But I'll tell you, there's nobody that you've seen like I've seen, grow up like steps. And look, this journey through the NFL could break a lot of people. I mean, it could break you, but he kept going, and he was in the AAF, and he's done all these other things. So yeah, I'm really proud of Orion and happy for him, and hope that I want these other leagues to work out. I mean, because there's football players that could make a nice living, playing professional football. It's not the NFL. It's tough.
I agree. I think we get to know him, and yeah, sometimes we're fooled and sometimes we're naive, but he's kind of someone I've always rooted for. By the way, David McCormick